Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's MachiningCloud webinar. As many of you know, Kennametal NOVO is in the process of being phased out. And since MachiningCloud has been the technology behind NOVO all along, we're excited to officially welcome NOVO users to the MachiningCloud experience. In this session, we'll take a closer look at what MachiningCloud offers, not just the familiar tools you're used to from NOVO, but also some of the powerful features and functionalities that go beyond what NOVO provided. Whether you've already started exploring MachiningCloud or you're just getting orientated, this webinar is designed to help you get the most out of the platform and see the full range of what's available to support your day-to-day work. I'll be presenting today. I'm Charles Smith, Senior Technical Engineer. We also have Matthew Nicholson, Director of Sales and Marketing, who will be helping to answer any of your technical questions. Please use the Q&A for your questions and not the chat, as the chat will be disabled. During this webinar, I'm going to be covering the access to the 63 other leading manufacturers that we carry, the direct checkout with MSC Industrial Supply, multi-brand tooling assemblies, MachiningCloud's freeform mode, the ability to upload your own tool data with our user upload, and MachiningCloud's Tool Advisor. And then to finish off, a Q&A session. I'm going to start today's webinar by showcasing MachiningCloud's Browse Catalogs feature. From the MachiningCloud homepage, you can access all of the tooling manufacturers we support by selecting Browse Catalogs. Once there, you can search by name or simply scroll through the list and find the specific manufacturer you're looking for. You can also toggle between the list and grid views to make browsing even easier. If there's a brand you don't see on MachiningCloud and would like to have their catalog available, you can submit a new publisher request. Once we receive your request, we'll reach out to that brand and begin the onboarding process. If you have any contacts at that company you're requesting, we encourage you to let them know that you'd like to see their data on MachiningCloud. This can really help move things along more quickly. The next feature I'd like to showcase is the ability to purchase items that are available in both MachiningCloud and through MSC Industrial Supply. There are several ways to do this, but essentially, wherever you see a web price or add to MSC cart icon, then that item can be purchased. I'll demonstrate one way to do this now. So I'm going to start with Browse Catalogs. Let's go with is car. So straight away we have our filters, and as you can see, we have buy from MSC. We want to select that. And then we'll just keep it reasonably simple. Let's just go hole making, drilling. So one of these. And then I'll just select this one. And straight away brings us through to our product page where we have our add to MSC cart. So straight away I can select that. And then it will populate our cart, with which I've already got some other items on in here. And then we can check out. So this brings us through. You're still in MachiningCloud to the page where you can do some edits if you need to, just double check what you've got in the cart. You can increase quantities, reduce quantities, or remove items. Just something to let you know. This is the web price here. So final price, minimum order quantities, taxes and shipping to be displayed at checkout. So if you are an MSC customer and you receive MSC discounts, you will see that once you go to MSC. So once you select this, you'll go through to the MSC page where you can finalize your purchases. And it's as easy as that. Moving on to the next part is the multi-brand tooling assemblies. One of the key differences between NOVO and MachiningCloud is the ability to create a multi-brand assembly using items from different manufacturers and then export the complete assembly to your CAM software. I'll show you how easy it is to do that. So again, I'm going to start in Browse Catalogs. Let's choose someone different. Let's go with Seco. Let's go with milling. Let's go with solid end mills. As you can see, we've got filters again, so it's quite nice to add some information within here. So let's do a cutting diameter. We're in inch, so let's do 0.25. Let's go with 1/4 inch. Then maybe we might want a flute count. So let's say we only want 3 flutes because we might want it center cutting. We're still going to stick with the solid end mills. Let's just do general purpose. Select this one. Then we're going to select this tool here. So straight away, we can create a new tool assembly from here, which I'm going to do. Brings us through to our assembly page where I can add a collet or sleeve. So if I go by all up here, and then go to the filters and go by brand. These are all the different brands that we carry within here, but I can also go and select Seco at the top. and see all the other brands that we carry that go together with this specific tool. Let's go with RegoFix, and then we'll just go with a standard collet. Again, we can have a look in the filters. Let's go with ER25 and apply that filter. Select this one here, and then I can add that to the assembly. And then if we open up the 3D viewer, we can see that the tool has been mounted into the collet, and now we just need to add an adaptive item. Again, we don't want RegoFix, we might want something different. So let's go RegoFix, select that, and then let's use someone else. Let's go with Heimer. And then let's do a Cat 40. Select this one. And we can just add that to the tool assembly. And if we open up the 3D viewer here, you can see we've now created a multi-brand tool and assembly very quickly and easily with feeds and speeds available, ready to export to your CAM or tooling management partners. So I'd like to now move on to MachiningCloud's freeform mode and how it works. I'll be presenting it in the simplest way possible so that you can understand the basics, try it out and build on it in your own time. For this example, I'm not going to spend any time searching for a tool as I already have. I'm going to go to my workshop, my tools, and then I'm going to use this tool here. So once I select that, I can create a new tool assembly from there. It's telling me I'm going to get rid of that assembly I just created because I didn't do anything with it. I'm fine with that. And so for this instance, we've got a 1/2-inch ceratizit end mill here. And you know, we might have, let's say, a Lindex Niken shrink fit holder that we want to use that we've got in your factory or in your machine shop. So we could, from here, we can add a collet or a sleeve or an adaptive item. Let's go with an adaptive item straight away. If I have a look in the filters up here, you can see Lindex Niken isn't available. So we're going to go back to that tool, and then we can have a look at our freeform mode up here. So we've got a bit of information on, no filtering, off, filtering the catalogs using the manufacturer's connection codes. So I want to select on, and again, we get that disclaimer again. I'm going to go yes. And so we can add an item within here. So I'm going to select that item, and then that brings us through to this page. So it's ceratizit again. We don't want ceratizit. We want to use any of the other things that within here. So like I said, the Lindex Niken. Let's say it's a BT40. Let's make sure there's a 3D available, like that filter. And then I want to go with a shrink fit. So let's do that. And so we know this is a 1/2-inch end mill. So let's have a look down here with the connection. So here's our 1/2-inch. Let's select that and add that to the assembly. Open up the 3D viewer. And as we can see, it has been created. So basically, if it goes together in real time and we have the items available, you can build it within MachiningCloud. So you just got this disclaimer here, so we can click this for details. So basically, it's just a freeform connection. It's letting you know that this has been built in freeform mode. So you've got your little disclaimer there as well. I'm going to move on to MachiningCloud's user upload feature. I'll show you how to upload an item and what you can do with it in MachiningCloud. To access the upload from the homepage, you need to select My Workshop and then My Inventory. And so straight away we can add an item from here. So I'm going to add items, and then you can add an item manually if you wish. So if you do have your own specific tool that doesn't have a GTC package or a P21 data file, you can just input the information in here and have that item in MachiningCloud. But for this one, I want to import from File. So I can import a GTC package from here. So basically this package here, I've gone to a manufacturer's website, downloaded it to my computer, and then I'm going to upload it into MachiningCloud. So I'm going to select this and then open. So the main thing here is just make sure it's being added to an inventory. I can just add it to that normal inventory, and then I can import. Once that's done, I can close that. And as you can see, the tool has been added up the top there. So I'm going to select this M4 tap. And as you can see on the right-hand side here, you can enter other information as well, customer part number, quantity, and notes for that tool, etc. If I go to edit here, you can see all the information that's been populated within here. We have all the good information for this specific tool. You can also add a workpiece material here if you like. So I'm just going to select still, and then I'm going to OK that. While this is still selected as well, I can create actually a tool assembly from here. So I can create a new assembly. It's just going to let me know that I'm going to get rid of the past assembly that I've just created, which I'm fine with. And then I can add a collet or sleeve within here. I'm just going to select this top here. Oh, hang on, sorry a minute. I'm just going to go back because that's not what I want to do. I'm going to add an adaptive item straight from here. So we're going to get a quick change adapter. I'm just going to select that. And I'm going to add that to the assembly. And then we can open up the 3D viewer and see that that's been mounted. There we go. And then we can add an adaptive item from here. And again, we don't want to go with Kennametal. Let's go with someone else. Let's do Lindex Nikon. Again, make sure there's a 3D available. By that filter, go to the tap holder, select that, and add that to the assembly. So open up the 3D viewer. There we go. So as you can see there, we've uploaded a tool and then created a multi-brand assembly with that tool in literally no time at all. So now we move on to the final part of this webinar before we get to the Q&A, the MachiningCloud Tool Advisor. This works similarly to other tool advisors, but the key difference is that the MachiningCloud Tool Advisor covers all the 64 different brands that we support. That makes it a powerful resource for finding the right tool, not just for your application, but also based on your specific needs, whether that's a price, availability, or simply making sure you're using the best and fastest option available. So this is our tool advisor. Obviously, we have other ones here, but this is the MachiningCloud one. We go with stationary features, hole making. Let's go with the circular hole. Brings us through to this page. So in here, we can add a machine if we've created one within MachiningCloud, a workpiece material, the kind of hole. Let's go with a through hole. We can add a hole diameter. As you can see, we're getting little diagrams here on the right-hand side to make sure we know exactly what we're inputting. So let's just do a 1/4 inch hole with a tolerance of plus or minus 4 thou with a depth of 1 inch. There's also other inputs we can enter down here, but I'm not going to do that for today. Just going to go with continue. Brings us to our machining strategy. For this example, we've only got one operation. And now this brings us through to our results page. So this can take a little bit longer because obviously it's searching through all those different 64 brands that we carry, trying to find the right tool for the parameters that we've inputted for this specific feature. So, and here we go. So once you've got this input here, you don't have to choose the top one. There's all other different manufacturers on here, but all of these tools are probably the best to do what those inputs that we created at the beginning. So this is done on the material removal rate. So the fastest tool for the job plus the best data for that tool as well. So just so you know how that hierarchy works. So, and once you're here, you can select this and go on to create an assembly as well. So as a wrap up, I just wanted to highlight what sets MachiningCloud apart. Is the depth and flexibility that it offers, from supporting the 64 leading tooling brands to smart tool advisors, seamless CAD/CAM exports, and centralized access to cutting tool data, 3D models, supplier catalogs. MachiningCloud is built to streamline your workflow and help make your work faster and make more informed decisions.